Well, it was billed as a primetime address for Joe Biden, but he should have known better. The Democratic Party that stabbed him in the back and would not allow him to represent them as the nominee for president should have known that when they said primetime address, they probably didn't want him out there in front of the cameras in prime time. And in fact, I gave up. I went to bed. I couldn't last until 11:35. I don't like being lied to in the first place. I certainly don't like losing sleep and being lied to. And so I did not stay up for Joe Biden's address last night at the Democratic National Convention. And I would have missed, at least 5 lies that he told last night. I stopped counting at 5. We'll go through them all today, and we will talk about Joe Biden exiting stage left, while Barack Obama, who I think, if my calendar is correct, was the president quite some time ago, and is in fact, well, I was going to say not still president, although I can't really be sure about that. Barack Obama will speak tonight. So let's get Joe Biden out of the way on night one. Let's send him off back to the Delaware Beach House or wherever he is, or, the Oval Office. And let's let the real president in his third term, hoping for his fourth term and maybe even a fifth term, take the stage tonight. We will get to all that, but you have had your data breached in the city of Columbus's incompetent stewardship of your private information. And you want to know what you can do about it, and we are trying to get to the bottom of what you can do about it. The good news in the short term is you do not have to do anything to join the class action lawsuit that has been filed already against the city of Columbus by 2 as yet unnamed Columbus police officers. Right now, you're good. You just sit, you wait, and stand by for further details. That's the message I got this morning when I called one of the 2 law firms that is filing and has filed this case against the city of Columbus. And you can go online, sign up for the free credit monitoring that the city is providing you. And I can give you an answer today that couldn't give you yesterday. Law Director Zach Klein, now keep in mind, not the greatest source of legal acumen, Zach Klein, not the greatest source of protecting the data of victims, police officers, firemen, anybody who's had an interaction with the city. But for what it's worth, which may not be much, Zach Klein says that you can accept the free credit monitoring from the city of Columbus, and you will not cut yourself out of any judgment that is later given to you as a result of having your data stolen by this foreign ransomware company that, again, I can't say this enough, the city could have paid $1.6 million to have all of this data purchased back from the people who stole it. And thus, none of it would have gotten out there on the web where it is now for any hacker to grab. And I know there is a hesitancy. The FBI always says, don't pay the ransom, don't pay the ransom, don't pay the ransom. It's not like there's a perfect outcome here. There are only imperfect outcomes when 500,000 citizens or more have their data hacked. By then, as we used to say out in the country, the horse is out of the barn. And you have to do the best you can to, if you can't get the horse back in the barn, at least get the horse in the corral. At least get the horse off your neighbor's property and back onto your own property. But the city of Columbus allowed the hackers to run free for the better part of a month. And now who knows where that data is and what the people who have it are doing with it. To the degree that this makes you feel any better, here's the quote from Zach Klein, city attorney, yesterday. The city of Columbus is not attempting to disqualify anyone from seeking to join the lawsuit by providing this free credit monitoring service. See, he knows. He knows that you know how devious they are in the double crossing that they could very easily do to you if you accept the free credit monitoring that they offer you. It's a little bit like student loan forgiveness, right? It's like, oh, that's free college tuition. Somebody's paying for it. Somebody's paying for it. In this case, you hope it's not you. You've already been victimized. You don't want to be victimized again. He says the purpose is to offer immediate security protection and peace of mind. Credit monitoring is a part, but not all, of the relief that people get in these data breach cases. The latter quote comes from one of the attorneys in the case. Now, how did this happen? What's your impression of how this happened? Remember, from the beginning, we were told, A, nothing was gained, right? They didn't get anything. That was what we were told in mid-July. July 18th, we got the reports, hey, somebody tried to hack the city systems. And we were told right away in a dance on the grave of the ransomware people, in a city press release, they didn't get anything. And we were told, well, they got stuff, but it's encrypted and it's unusable. And then we were told Saturday, no, they got a lot of stuff and they're going to get more. We don't even know what they got. But what else were we told initially that has proven not to be true? Oh, we were told that this all happened. And I remember I called lie on this from the very beginning. All this happened because one city worker opened an email with an attachment that they should not have opened. That's what we were told, right? Just one random city worker opened an email. And I said from the very beginning, there's no way, unless they have like My Little Pony cybersecurity at the city of Columbus, which again, has not been ruled out as a possibility. There was no way that all this data got out there because somebody opened just one email. No chance of that. Now we know that the ransomware people gained access to the city's system through a website download. It was not a link. It was not an email link. It was through a website download. So either somebody from the city downloaded something that they shouldn't have downloaded, or these people got into the computer, and this is the much more likely scenario. They got into the computer and they just started downloading stuff. Again, there's an accumulation of information that I've shared with you over the past week and a half. Don't forget and again, it's unverified, but nevertheless, it was told to me, so I'll share it with you. The Columbus firefighter who told me that the FBI went in to the city of Columbus after this damage was discovered, and they investigate all cyber hacks of cities around the country. And Columbus is not the first. It won't be the last, but it is close to the worst in terms of the information gained. And the firefighter told me that the FBI expert came back and told the firefighters that Columbus did not have anywhere close to the kind of security with its cyber systems that it needed, and that once the hackers were inside, there was nothing to stop them from going, oh, look at this door's open, and that door's open, and that door's open, and that door's open. We can get undercover police officers' name and information. We can get victims of crime, including domestic violence victims who might be hiding from somebody who wants to do them harm. Hey, we can get social security numbers. We can get driver's license numbers. Look at this. Anybody who has swiped their driver's license at City Hall to get into a city council meeting, we can get their information. Hey, look at this. We can even get Shannon Hardin City Council President's private information. Now, all of this information can be used. This is the thing that is hard for you and me to understand, because like I said yesterday when we were talking about how the e-scooters end up in the Scioto River, right? We're like, that wouldn't even occur to me to do that. Oh, there's an e-scooter. Hey, there's a river. I know what we'll do for fun. Let's throw the scooter in the river. You wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. We're law-abiding citizens. We're not people who steal other people's data. So for me to sit here today and tell you, oh, this is how you could be exposed, this is how you could be victimized, I can't do it because my imagination doesn't work that way. My sense of right and wrong doesn't work that way. But there are people who understand it. One of them is an attorney by the name of Stuart Itani. He's with Legal Aid of Southeast and Central Ohio. He says their organization is preparing to work with domestic violence survivors whose personal information can now be readily available to abusers, stalkers, and cyber crooks. That doesn't sound good. Here's the quote to WSYX Channel 6. The hackers have information that they know is of importance to people. They know it directly relates to safety and security, and they will always exploit that. Always exploit that. I don't know what that means, but the word exploit would scare me if I were a crime victim and I felt like there was somebody who had hurt me in the past and wanted to hurt me again. Also, here's a cheery thought. This is a question I've had since the very beginning. Sometimes we just forget to ask the most obvious questions. And one of the most obvious questions is not only what do they have, and not only how can they use it against me, But one of the most obvious questions is, how far back can they go in the city systems? Does it mean if I got a speeding ticket in 2004, they have my data? City leaders are unable to say how many years back the data breach goes, but they advise anyone who has had contact with the city to sign up for free credit monitoring now being offered. So again, I'll say, I'm waiting to find out. If you pay your City of Columbus water bill, are you hacked? Nobody will answer that question for me. They won't answer any questions down at City Hall. And there are two reasons people don't answer questions. Number one, they don't know the answer, which would be bad. Or they know the answer and they know you'll think the answer is bad. And they won't tell you for that reason.
Sunshine, beautiful afternoon. Our high today at 70. Clear, chilly night. Low tonight at 50. Sunny, terrific tomorrow. The high at 74. Sunshine, beauty of the day on Thursday. The high Thursday is 79. And then sunshine, another nice day on Friday. A little bit warmer though. The high at 84. And then mostly sunny, a pleasant day on Saturday. High Saturday afternoon at 84. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM. The Answer.
Do you just grin and bear it or bite the bullet when it comes to everyday pain? Don't. Try Relief Factor, a drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. It's 100% drug-free. It's developed by doctors. In 3 weeks or less, you'll know whether it works for you like it works for me. Try Relief Factor for yourself. Go to relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF and save on your first order. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
Hear that? It's the gentle sound of a waterfall on your hike. And if you were here, you'd take a deep breath of fresh air if you weren't so winded. But you're not here, because your self-care happens out on the road, riding your motorcycle protected by Progressive. And the bugs you wipe from your headlights are all the nature you need. So if you ride, see if you could save with Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Get an online quote in as little as 3 minutes, all from the great indoors. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates not available in all states.
Hi, this is Eric, the CEO of Ultimate Tax Group. With my 2 decades of experience, I have helped thousands of hardworking American taxpayers like yourself. If you owe back taxes to the IRS or state, or have any unfiled tax returns, personal or business, never give up. My team and I want to help you take your freedom back today. Call Ultimate Tax Group at 888-505-1099. Speak with me, Eric, or one of my associates. My team has over 75 years of experience in understanding the tax laws and tax resolution programs. We will dissect your case and map out a successful strategy. You have rights as a taxpayer. We can stop any aggressive actions. We care and fight for our clients. Call Ultimate Tax Group at 888-505-1099, 888-505-1099.
Planning for retirement is no small task. If you don't know where to start, join Rodney Peters of Peters Wealth Group every Saturday at 10 and 2 for Retire Ready Ohio. Rodney shares helpful tips and strategies that just might change the course of your retirement. Listen every Saturday at 10 and 2 to Retire Ready Ohio with Rodney Peters of Peters Wealth Group. The firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services are offered through Peters Wealth Group, a state-registered investment advisor.
My sister Katie and I love to shop. Well, mostly window shop.
She means we're thorough.
She means we're bargain hunters. Exactly. But my sister Kelly showed me an article that made me change a really bad habit.
Just wanting us to do what's right.
You see, at one time, I just couldn't stay away from those bargain knockoffs. You know, the handbags and scarves sold on the street.
Counterfeit merchandise.
Ooh, you make it sound so illegal.
Well, it is stealing.
Ouch. I wouldn't steal. I didn't realize that this sort of stealing can lead to more Americans losing their jobs.
So no more buying fakes and knockoffs, right?
Right. Just honest bargain hunting.
Now you're talking.
Remember, counterfeits hurt, but you have the power to stop them. To learn more, go to www.ncpc.org/getreal. That's ncpc.org/getreal. Brought to you by the National Crime Prevention Council and the Bureau of Justice Assistance, U.S. Department of Justice.
I received a text the other day from one of my PatriotSwitch.com devotees. I say devotees because, yeah, got their first order of products. and they absolutely love them. Yes, they do. Not a surprise to me, but it's always great to hear. And if you feel like you are missing out, FOMO, then you need to go to patriotswitch.com and leave your information so I can reach out to you and tell you about the private shopping club. Annual membership, $19. What do you pay for your Costco membership? More than twice that. What do you pay for your Sam's Club membership? I don't know, but I bet it's more than twice that. BJ's Wholesale Club. Do they give you a 35 to 50% discount on everything in the store? No, they run specials. You get little flyers, but the store that I'm going to tell you about makes everything they sell, ships it right to your door. Shipping is always $10.44 a month, and they make everything they sell. And if you are a member, you get that 35 to 50% discount. It's like Ship to Save from Amazon, only on steroids and with good stuff. And you're not putting money in Jeff Bezos' pocket. You're putting it in the pocket of a family-owned American company that's pro-police and pro-life. What's not to love? Let me tell you more. Go to patriotswitch.com/Bruce, patriotswitch.com/Bruce. I keep hearing how much money Kamala Harris is raising. Lots and lots and lots of money. Remember, the donors dried up when Joe Biden's decomposing body started to dry up. But now Kamala is awash in cash, but apparently not enough cash to hire any copy editors. Copy editors, if you are unfamiliar, are people at newspapers who read what the talented people who can actually write and report write and correct mistakes. The official Democratic National Committee platform has been released. Only problem is it makes at least 5 mentions of President Joe Biden's second term. Whoops. I'm looking at it on my screen right now. I retweeted it for you. In President Biden's second term, he will continue selecting judges. Blah, blah, blah. In President Biden's second term, he will push Congress to pass. In President Biden's second term, he will push Congress to press authorities on the need to secure the border. In a second Biden term, we will make the Navigator program, whatever the heck that is, permanent and include new lenders, new markets, and fairer taxes. Yeah, I bet none of that is true, just like a second Biden term is not true. So that's funny to me. It's a detail that is left undone, and yet Democrats are not really hung up on details, are they? I mean, Kamala Harris, has she really answered any questions since she became the person to replace Joe Biden? And, you know, if you felt sorry for Joe last night, if you stayed up and you watched him and you thought, man, they really did this guy dirty. He's been in a party for 52 years, and he said he gave his heart to America and all this stuff. I can't feel sorry for the man because, number one, he's evil and he's a liar. I feel sorry for the destination that he is headed for if he doesn't repent and realign his life with the truth that he knows as a devout Catholic. But I got to thinking, you know, the phrase "what goes around comes around" is really what defines what's happened to Joe Biden. Like, what has happened to him is what the Democrats did to Bernie Sanders in 2016 when he was gaining momentum in his battle against Hillary Clinton. And then it is what they did to Bernie Sanders again in 2020 when Joe Biden was floundering and Super Tuesday was coming and they knew that Bernie Sanders couldn't beat Donald Trump. And so they've done to Biden what they did first to clear a path for Hillary and then to clear a path for Joe Biden. And they've gone to great lengths. Remember deep fakes? Remember Biden in Italy and Biden wandering around and Biden shaking the hand of imaginary people. And we heard about, deep fake. He's sharp as a tack, gets more done in an hour than everybody else does all day long. His staff can't keep up with him. Remember all that? Then there's the other delicious irony of this is that Biden really felt like he got 80 million legitimate votes in the 2020 presidential election. He crows about having more votes than anybody in history, and that was all legitimate, and there was nothing funny going on in Detroit. There was nothing funny going on in Atlanta. There was nothing funny going on in Philadelphia. I mean, the man is delusional, right? Which is kind of interesting in that we all believe they muddied the election, right? With Zuckerbucks and everything else. We all believe that because we know that because we saw it play out. What's the white paper doing on the walls in Detroit? What's the water leak in Atlanta? Why are you counting ballots that come in after the deadline in Pennsylvania? It's indisputable they messed with the election. But Biden either is such a psychopath that he is not in on the steal, or he's in on it and he's forgotten it. But now they've done the same thing, right? He had no challengers in the primary. They set it all up for him to claim it himself. He got all the votes, or appreciably all the votes. Dean Phillips got a few. And they took it away from him anyway. So it's hard for me to feel sorry for him. Maybe I'm just unempathetic, not empathetic. Here is Bob, who may have a different view of the whole thing. Bob, welcome to the Bruce Hooley Show. Bob, are you on? Hello. Bob, can you hear me? Bob, can you hear me? Bob cannot hear me. We'll get that fixed. All right, so here are Van Jones and Scott Jennings, CNN commentators, talking last night about Joe Biden coming out to the stage for his final farewell to the Democratic Party.
This is his moment tonight. His moment, yeah.
Yeah, Biden is known in his career as being one of the best eulogy givers at funerals, and now they're making him come and give his own career.
He has files of every eulogy.
Yeah, and now they're making him give his own eulogy at this convention. I mean,
you have to give one its best so you get to give your own.
Yeah, I guess. I am anxious to see how they handle it. It's a sticky wicket. I mean, he was bullied out of this race after 52 years of service to the Democratic Party, and it wasn't all about his age. He was unpopular. He was going to lose. It was Afghanistan. It was inflation. It was immigration. And now, and he had to be dragged out by the fingernails. I'm sorry. This is not, so he's not here in a happy moment, okay? I know that this yarn that's being spun in this hall, but he was popular and selfless and handing on. No. It is the opposite, and everybody knows it.
Yeah, there are probably Band-Aids on Joe Biden's fingers today. He left his fingernails behind, clinging to the podium last night at the DNC in Chicago because all his ranting, all his raving, and this was pretty reminiscent of his speech at Independence Hall in Philadelphia, the Dark Brandon speech. He was just an angry old man last night, and he is an angry old man. Only now he's got stuff to be angry about. He should have just been the most happy guy in the world when he somehow found his way to the Oval Office. He just outlived everybody else in the Democratic Party. They always talk about, oh, we have a deep bench. We have such a deep bench. You have such a deep bench. That's why Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders are the people you've run. Now you can say, hey, you come back at me and say, well, how deep is the Republicans bench? Donald Trump's been your candidate 3 straight elections. Trump is, among those who love him, a rock star. He is a flavor they cannot give up. That's what he is, okay? I think he's losing a step right now. I think he's losing this race. I think he needs to be more articulate, and he definitely needs to sharpen his message and stay on topic, and he should make a pledge to never talk more than 20 minutes. You got to really be interesting for people to pay attention to you for more than 20 minutes. Can he win this race? Yes, he can, because he's facing off another terrible candidate. But he's faced terrible candidates the last 2 times, and he's only gone 50-50.
SRN News, I'm Ed Thomas. President Biden passing the torch to Vice President Kamala Harris at the Democratic National Convention. Later today, former President Obama scheduled to speak to the gathering in Chicago. This week, the Trump
color on there. I'm not sure what happened now.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I put him back on hold and I called him and couldn't hear a thing.
Okay. Maybe it's this one.
Should I just drop him?
Unless we can get him on. I hate to try it again if we're not sure. You want to ask Ryan if it's set the right way, or Alan or somebody? I don't.
Yeah, I can ask real quick.
Okay. Yeah.
On the 7th of October. Stocks in the red this morning on Wall Street. Right now, the Dow down about 128 points. The Nasdaq Composite Index is off 83, and the S&P trading 17 points lower. More details at SRNnews.com.
Americans now have more credit card debt than any time in history, owing a staggering $1.3 trillion collectively. What happens when Mexico can't pay their bills? Well, the U.S. economy is slowly moving into uncertain territory. That's why most Christians return to their goal system of peace of mind. Unranswered Christianism has a 30-year track record of predicting trouble. The Bible tells us that gold is a time-tested store of value that can protect the God-given assets for almost anything, including America's historic debt bubble. Here's the good news. You can own gold through your 401k or IRA.
So when you initially called, I was able
Tax-free penalty. For more check the webpage at 98.98. For an info tip from Birch Gold is always good. Zero cost whatsoever. Text that next step right now and take it. Text faith to the number 989898 for your free info tip. That's faith to 98. Variety of financing options, give us a call at 721-ROOF, 721-ROOF, or reach out to us on the web at the Metal Roof Company.
I shut my program down. I didn't want to do that.
August 30th, Reagan returns to office.
We are the greatest country in the world. We have just forgotten.
You can run from a bully for so long, but after a while, you're going to have to stand up to him. I am about to start the biggest war of this century.
Make a difference in this world.
What would you have me do?
I want you to fight.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Reagan in theaters Friday, August 30th, rated PG-13.
You'll sleep better knowing you got a great deal on a great mattress because you got it from Mac Mattress Outlet and the Discount Shopping Club. Right now, get a $500 certificate from Mac Mattress Outlet toward any mattress purchase for only $250. These certificates go fast, and when they're gone, they're gone. For details, log on to the Discount Shopping Club at 989theanswer.com.
Hi, it's Bruce Hooley, and I hope you'll join me every day, 11 to 1, for the Bruce Hooley Show. A lot of consequential issues that we have to talk about. It's a transformational time in our country, and you want to understand all the issues. That's what I hopefully help you do. Bruce Hooley Show, 11 to 1, Monday through Friday, 989theanswer.com.
Oh, today, 3:30, I will be in a storefront looking for new LVP flooring. And you know what? They've come to the right place. They went to brucehooley.com, click flooring, reached out. We'll get them all hooked up. Guy wants to open his business. He wants sparkling new floors. He wants to save money, wants to get it installed quicker. I have other residential customers who are doing the exact same. And I got a call this morning. I really appreciate the way you guys have responded and are helping my family pay some of the bills we have. 2 kids in college, a little bit of a medical situation a year ago, which most of you know about. But I love meeting you. I love talking to you. I love our conversations. I have an order going in this morning at another home of a lovely woman who listens to the show. Really appreciate that. How can we do it faster? Well, we are small. We have trucks that bring our material to us faster than a store that has a big box location, and there you don't put their trucks on the road unless it's completely full. We don't have to do that. We combine our orders with others. It's just one of the ways we save you money when you go to brucehooley.com and click flooring in the upper right-hand corner of the page. All right, are we trying Bob again, or is Bob gone? We are not trying Bob again. Bob, thanks for calling the show. Sorry we had a phone situation where we could not welcome you to the show. I'm sure, Bob, you would have been much more pleasant to talk to than Michael Tyler, who is the head of the Kamala Harris campaign. So wait a minute, wasn't Michael Tyler the head of the Joe Biden campaign? Yes, he was. Michael Tyler was the head of the Joe Biden campaign. And Michael Tyler is not the kind of person you want to hang out with or believe on anything. I could play you a lot of Michael Tyler cuts. I can't play you any Michael Tyler cut that is more revealing as to what a complete partisan zealot hack liar he is than this one.
There's no question that Joe Biden
has been the most consequential president in modern times.
Okay, Joe Biden has been the most consequential president in modern times. Now, he didn't define modern times, but I'm right around 60 years old, so I'm going to count my lifetime as modern time, okay? So JFK, Cuban Missile Crisis, avoided nuclear war. Pretty consequential, I would say. Nixon, bad idea, but he reestablished, relationship with China. Clinton worked pretty hard on peace with the Middle East. We could use some of that right now. Reagan, brought us back from 40-year inflation highs under Jimmy Carter, reestablished American superiority throughout the world, brought down the Berlin Wall, won the Cold War. It's kind of consequential, I think. Let me see. George Bush, the older, won the war. Did he bring down Saddam, right? And then we got George W. After 9/11, the last time we were really united, iconic moment on the trash heap of the Twin Towers, iconic moment throwing out the first pitch at the World Series. Yeah, I don't think Michael Tyler's telling us the truth when he says.
There's no question that Joe Biden has been the most consequential president in modern times.
Yeah, but not telling the truth is, of course, fully on brand for Democrats. And Joe Biden had some big whoppers last night. I mean, some really, really big whoppers. I couldn't chart them all. He brought back the bloodbath hoax. He talked about how he had done a great job during the pandemic and Trump had not. He talked about how he had beaten Big Pharma. Nothing says my brain is mush than going back to the exact same line you used in the debate that everybody condemned when you used it. We beat Big Pharma. And Trump said, yeah, you did. You beat Medicaid. Yeah, you beat it to death. Let's trot that out again. Maybe it'll go over better this time. No, it didn't. And then, of course, he said the border is more secure under him than it was under Donald Trump. We'll get to all that, but it took us a while to even get to Joe Biden last night. He was supposed to speak in prime time. Like, I'm thinking prime time. What do you think in prime time? In your head, you're like, oh, wait a minute. Joe Biden's on tonight. I was sitting at my table last night doing some invoices for some flooring orders, and I looked at my clock, and it was like 9 o'clock, and I thought, I wonder if I missed Biden's speech. I did not turn the TV on because I wanted to get my work done, but I thought, I probably did. He's probably out there speaking right now, and what's the point if I tune it in? It'll just make me mad, and I don't want to go to bed mad, so I'll just forget it. No, I had plenty of time. He didn't get out there until 11:35, which if you think that is an accident, then I guess you believe Michael Tyler when he explains why Joe Biden's primetime speech did not, in fact, occur in prime time.
It was certainly a late night. Listen, I think what you saw last night, there's no doubt that we got a little behind schedule, but the fact of the matter is that you had speaker after speaker after speaker that was interrupted with applause after applause after applause. It's because you have a Democratic Party that is, number one, as you saw last night, united in its gratitude to President Biden, united in its support for Kamala Harris, and united in their enthusiasm they have for this election because they fundamentally understand the stake.
They just got interrupted so much by applause. I mean, there were just so many dynamic speakers. Well, who were the dynamic speakers? Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear was out there. Can't tell Andy Beshear to go away. Hillary Clinton was out there. I mean, who could be more popular than the woman who gave rise to Donald Trump's political power? Let's bring her back out, okay? AOC was out there ranting and raving. Can't say no to her. NBA coach Steve Kerr of the Golden State Warriors. Yes, we got to hear from somebody whose league panders to the Chinese Communist Party. And then, of course, we had New York Governor Kathy Hochul and United Auto Workers Union President Sean Fain, the man who has done more, whose union has done more to ruin the American auto industry than anyone else. So they had a lot going on A lot going on. And they also had like deafening applause to all the points that were being made. If you don't believe me, here is a random state senator who was out there just firing up the crowd, just getting the crowd going like you won't believe. I mean, listen to this deafening applause to this point she is making about the difference between what will transpire in a Kamala Harris administration versus what will transpire if Donald Trump is reelected president.
Donald Trump would be able to weaponize the Department of Justice to go after his political opponents.
Oh, can you hear me over the applause?
Turn the FBI into his own personal police force.
Oh, my ears are ringing. It's so loud.
That's not how it works in America.
Oh, yay! Whoa, what? Come on, speak up, speak up, speak up.
That's how it works in dictatorships.
Wow. I mean, I'm sorry for the damage that did to your ears. I'm sorry for the deafening applause that had you sticking your fingers in your ears, because, man, that's why they were late right there. They were so late because that just got such deafening applause that they couldn't get Joe out there before 11:35. And once he got out there, his old friend, the teleprompter, welcomed him back to stage, as it has so often in his public speaking past.
This decision overturning Roe v. Wade that you heard earlier tonight, the United States Supreme Court majority wrote the following.
What did they write? What?
Quote, women are not without electoral or political power.
Women are not without electrical power. Well, that'll be very inconvenient when you take their gas stoves away. How are they going to make food? Oh, of course, that's sexist for me to say that. How are they going to cook dinner if they don't have a gas stove and they don't have electrical power? Oh, wait, electoral power. I got it. Score one for the teleprompter 1, Joe 0, as is so often the case. But certainly, Bruce, come on, you're just cherry picking. There wasn't silence at every Democratic point made last night. Okay, well, you be the judge. Here is Chris Coons, senator, who, well, I don't know if Chris Coons was a cheerleader before he was a senator. If he was probably not very good at it.
Thank you, Joe, and God bless you. We love you. We love Joe. We love Joe. We love Joe. We love Joe. Thank you all. We love Joe. God bless you, and thank you very much.
He got louder applause for leaving the stage than he did for leading the We Love Joe chant. Didn't really catch on. Maybe he should have added something to it. Maybe we love Joe now that he's no mo. I think that might have caught on. We love Joe because we got him to go. That would be good. You could maybe get somewhere with that one. But we love Joe didn't quite land, didn't quite catch on. But again, the deafening applause is the reason why Joe Biden didn't get out there before 11:30 last night, which we all know was 100% purposeful, just like the knife between his shoulder blades with Pelosi's fingerprints on it.
Beautiful afternoon. Our high today at 70. Clear, chilly night. Low tonight at 50. Sunny, terrific tomorrow. The high at 74. Sunshine, beauty of the day on Thursday. The high Thursday 79. And then sunshine and another nice day on Friday. A little bit warmer though. The high at 84. And then mostly sunny. A pleasant day on Saturday. High Saturday afternoon at 84. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM. The Answer.
3 reasons I ditched my old school deodorant and made the switch to Lumi whole body deodorant for pits, privates, and beyond. First, Lumi is crazy effective. It controls odor in a new way and keeps me fresher longer. Second, it's a whole body deodorant that works on
Can I
every
say how
organ.
gross
The
this
ones we all
Lumi
have. My
deodorant
kids,
commercial is?
even feet, use it anyway.
Golly, it's gross.
Lumi was created by an OBGYN. I don't know about you, but knowing Lumi was
Yeah,
created
because
by
it's a
an
mental
OBGYN
picture they
who knows
paint.
all about safety below the belt is super reassuring. Experience a new way to control odor longer that works everywhere. This is a special offer for listeners. Go to LumiDeodorant.com and use code WORKS and get 15% off your first purchase with code WORKS, like the Lumi Starter Pack, acidified body wash, or new Lumi Plus Sweat Control. That's LumiDeodorant.com, code WORKS for 15% off your first purchase. Love it, or return it for free. That's LumiDeodorant.com, code WORKS to save 15% today.
As a local business owner, you get called every week by marketing companies. We get it. We have hundreds of satisfied customers. Here's what a satisfied client recently said.
Open enrollment is going great. We're hitting record numbers. Thank you so much for this report. It really is amazing to see how the marketing is really shaping our enrollment around the city.
If you're a local business and ready to take the next step, Google Salem Surround Columbus right now. Our experts are ready to help you take your marketing to the next level. Google Salem Surround Columbus today.
Caribbean is calling. Dennis Prager here. Join me on an unforgettable cruise to the Caribbean this November. Imagine 9 days of basking in the sun surrounded by the stunning beauty of a tropical paradise. We'll cruise to the vibrant islands of Half Moon Cay, Curacao, Bonaire, Turks and Caicos, and much more. Stroll through Curaçao's iconic pastel-colored shops and snorkel in Bonaire's world-class coral reefs. You'll enjoy some of the most delicious cuisine aboard Holland America's Rotterdam, a fantastic destination itself with riveting shows and breathtaking views. We'll be joined by special guest Sean McDowell, and we'll both share fresh insights, current events, discuss happiness and our future in America in light of the election. November 29th to December 8th of this year. Secure your spot today by calling 855-565-5519 or online at BreakerCruise.com.
The Mid-Ohio Food Collective provides nutritious, healthy food to more than 500,000 of our hungry neighbors in central and eastern Ohio. They stock pantries and markets with fresh produce and non-perishable food. The food goes to soup kitchens and emergency shelters. They feed preschool children and students on summer break. They supply food to seniors without transportation. It's enough food for 193,000 meals every single day. Food is health. Fresh food can lead to thriving lives. You can help through the Mid-Ohio Food Collective. Visit MOFC.org and learn how you, your family, your church, and your workplace can make a difference. That's MOFC.org for the Mid-Ohio Food Collective. Let's make sure our neighbors get the meals they deserve. Support the Mid-Ohio Food Collective. That's MOFC.org.
Well, you might have heard that we have a movie coming out that we all want you to go to. It is a movie about the life of Ronald Reagan. Speaking of consequential presidencies, not Joe Biden's presidency, but the great Ronald Reagan. Dennis Quaid stars with Penelope Ann Miller and John Voight. It's in the theaters on August the 30th, and you can win a great prize. Listen to these: a trip for two to the LA red carpet premiere and a visit to the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library, or a movie screening at a location in a theater near where you live for up to 100 guests, or on a smaller scale, but still very nice. We'll give away 10 4-packs of tickets to see the movie Reagan, or 50 2-packs of tickets to see Reagan. Enter to win today at 9890answer.com. I've seen snippets of this movie. It is something that I definitely want to see. And so Friday, August the 30th is the premiere. Register to win your tickets to the new movie Reagan at 9890answer.com. All right, I did this, so I guess I'm going to play it for you, although you're probably as sick of hearing Joe Biden's voice as I am. How many lies did he tell last night? I got tired of cutting them up. after a while. Let's start with the big lie on Big Pharma and what the Biden-Harris administration did to debilitate Big Pharma.
We got in a fight for 50 years to give Medicare the power to negotiate low prescription drug prices. We finally beat Big Pharma.
They feel so defeated. Here is a headline from February 27th, 2023. Big Pharma raked in $90 billion in profits with COVID-19 vaccines. Pfizer, BioNTech, Moderna, and Sinovac made an extraordinary $90 billion in profits on their COVID-19 vaccines and medicines in 2021 and 2022. Somo's new corporate report, Pharma's pandemic profits, show that these enormous gains are largely due to decades of research funded by billions in grants for development and production and tens of billions in advance purchase agreements with governments. Oh, really? Gee, you mean when a presidential administration mandates that its citizens get a vaccine and won't let them travel without it and won't let them go to schools without it and is constantly badgering them and hectoring them about getting more and more boosters because this time this one will work? You mean the drug companies profit off that? Oh, yeah. You know why they profit off that? Not just because of the mandates, but because, did you read the fine print? When you saw, you didn't? Oh, you know what it says in the fine print? If you don't have your reading glasses with you, it says you can't sue the drug companies for any adverse health effects that come from that. So there's line number one. They beat Big Pharma. And boy, oh boy, I mean, we can tell, can't we? Big Pharma. How many big pharma companies have gone out of business since the pandemic? I mean, they're just strewn along the wayside, aren't they? Like Red Lobster and Melt and all the restaurants that went out of business. Like for every restaurant chain that went out of business, there's a big pharma company dead beside the road, thanks to the Biden administration. How about schools? Do you remember how the Biden administration stewarded the reopening of schools in 2021? You might remember it a little bit differently than Joe Biden does.
During the pandemic, Kamala helped states and cities get back their schools back open.
Is that right? Is that right? You and Kamala helped get the schools back open. Now, I thought I might be wrong on this. I vaguely remember Donald Trump saying in the spring of 2020 that he wanted to reopen the country by Easter. I had a vague recollection of that. And I thought, after all, you have brain cancer. You're probably crazy, Bruce. You just better go look that up. And I thought, well, I don't know if I can find that on Google because they probably scrubbed it. But you know what? They are so busy scrubbing Trump's assassination from Google that they haven't gotten around to scrubbing this yet. Here's a headline from CNN, you know, in the bag for Donald Trump, as we all know. From March 24th, 2020, headline, Trump says he wants the country opened up and just raring to go by Easter, despite health experts' warnings. Let me read the lead. Donald Trump says he wants the nation open up and just raring to go by Easter, a date more than 2 weeks away that few health experts believe will be sufficient to containing the spread of the coronavirus. But wait, here's another headline. And another story from CNN. From April the 13th. Now we're really close to Easter, if in fact not after Easter in 2020. I don't remember exactly where it was. Here's the headline on this CNN story. Quote, almost sinful, unquote, she ought to know, Nancy Pelosi skewers Trump over threats to reopen the country too soon. Mid-April, he wanted to reopen. She said no. Nancy Pelosi's lashed out at President Donald Trump during a private call with her caucus Monday, saying he was putting Americans in grave danger if he rushes to reopen the economy at the end of the month. Kamala and Joe, they were all over it, man. Them and Tim Walz, they were shutting down schools all the way into 2021. If you listen to them now, they were fighting to get everything open. Randy Weingarten was helping them get everything open. Let's get those schools open. Meanwhile, shove a 2x4 from one door to the other and bolt it and lock it so no kids can get in here and endanger our teachers. Yes, the truth has no relationship at all with how a Democrat's mind works. Would you like further proof of that? Here's Joe Biden talking about the horrible, terrible, awful Donald Trump, promising a bloodbath if he is re-elected president. Yes, he really went back to this lie one more time, and then on the back end of it, we'll play what Trump actually said.
He's promising a bloodbath if he loses, in his words.
We're going to put a 100% tariff on every single car that comes across the line, and you're not going to be able to sell those cars. If I get elected, now if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole, that's going to be the least of it.
Doesn't seem like he was talking about violence in the streets. You know, the kind of violence. Do you think Joe would understand violence in the streets? Was he napping last night when they got him into the United Center through the phalanx of 8-foot high chain link fences and being surrounded by Chicago cops so that none of the Hamas protesters could get in? Do you think Joe was taking? I wouldn't blame him if he was taking a nap. After all, they wouldn't let him on before 11:30 at night. So that's a lie. He also told the very fine people lie one more time. Very, very fine people lie. He got that one out. I had this for you and I forgot. You know, I told you about Pelosi saying it was sinful to open schools and Trump being pilloried for saying he wanted to get everything open by Easter. Here's a Joe Biden campaign ad from 2020 about how bad it is that Trump wouldn't open the schools.
He thinks it will save his re-election.
We have to open the schools.
Critical shortage of PPE.
Threatening their funding.
When they don't open their schools, we're not going to fund them.
Ignoring how the virus spreads, risking teachers and parents' lives, going against the advice of experts.
It's had very little impact on young people.
Do you trust him to do what's best for our children? Because this is not a test. Trump is failing.
I aced it. I aced the test.
Now that's odd, isn't it? Joe Biden was campaigning for president in 2020, saying that Trump was wrong trying to reopen the schools. And now he's saying, he said it last night, that Donald Trump failed because he didn't try and didn't open the schools soon enough. I say all the time, I'm not sure the degree to which America is insane and unable to remember history as it actually happened, not as Democrats envision it happening. We will find out November the 5th if America is really that stupid.
Leg in on a little wireless hack that can cut your cell phone bill in half every single month. Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile want you to believe you need unlimited data so they can way overcharge you. Here's a fact. Most of us are buying way more data than we would ever need. Well, Pure Talk, my cell phone company, only charges you for data you actually want. Listen to this. For just $25 a month, you can get unlimited talk, text, and 5 gigs of data, plus a mobile hotspot. Do you know what you can do with 5 gigs of data? You can browse the internet for 135 hours, stream 1,000 songs, or watch 10 hours of video. Stop overpaying for wireless and get 5G coverage with Pure Talk. Dial pound 250 and say the keyword Mike Gallagher. Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team will make switching super easy. There's no contract, no activation fee. You can even keep your phone and your number. Dial pound 250 and say Mike Gallagher, and you'll save an additional 50% off your first month with Pure Talk.
Find us at 989theanswer.com. Download our apps. Stream us 24/7. WTOH and WTOH HD1, Upper Arlington, Columbus.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. It's day 2 of the Democratic National Convention. White House correspondent Greg Cluxton has this preview from Chicago.
DNC organizers say today's theme is a bold vision for America's future. Featured speakers include Vice President Harris's husband, Doug Emhoff, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, former First Lady Michelle Obama, and former President Barack Obama. As the Democrats meet here in Illinois, the Trump campaign continues to visit battleground states every day this week. Their focus today is on crime and safety. Greg Clugston at the Democratic National Convention in Chicago.
All right, that'll do it for this first hour. We stream the second hour on the Bruce Hooley Show Facebook page or on the 989 Answer Facebook page. Appreciate you guys joining us. Sorry, I grabbed some pretzels before I said goodbye. Hope you have a great day.